selling a player to finalize at least 2 more deals, and I've gone ahead to see very many people complaining to the comment section that, Rokani, how is it that in the previous 2 weeks or in the previous week, Man United managed to obviously sign one player, and right now they've gone ahead not to sign a player by the end of this week? I've already told you the problem is money is the problem. We need to sell to buy players, and you all know to it that players that are really acting as hotcakes for now, Scott McTominay and Jadon Sancho. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you're watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Second video of the day, we want to hit how many subscribers? We want to hit 20,000 subscribers, and guys, continue to subscribe. And we are talking about Joe Hugill. We are talking about, it's called Joe Hugill, otherwise Hugill, depending on what. And there is Mother in there for you, who is really a player that is going to obviously tell us exactly where his future lies, and a list of players that are not going to be taking part into the US pre-season have gone ahead to be released by the club of Manchester United, and you'll obviously get excited about this. The Muslims, you thank Allah for the gift of life, and the Christians will also thank God for the gift of life. Now let's start off with Seth coming in through from the Sky Sports. He has told us that Fulham are discussing their next move for Scott McTominay. Manchester United are expecting another bid. Remember, a bid of, was it between 20 to 30 million pounds was rejected by Manchester United, that was put in by Fulham. And as it stands, Fulham is really trying to obviously bring in what we call an improved bid for the club of Manchester United, for Scott McTominay, to obviously start their pursuit of Scott McTominay. And this comes in through when tonight Manchester United is boarding to the United States of America, and I've gone ahead to see people coming out and say that, all right, Manchester United is really not that team that you have to obviously think that they obviously sell a player while they are on tour. I tell you, this is a different structure altogether, and trust me, it can happen. It happened on Lukaku, I think. It happened onto Anthony Elanga. So I tell you, it might happen again. And by the way, there are huge chances that in the how many weeks? Let me see. Today they go on the 24th. Now 7 days. That is 31st. The 2 weeks that Manchester United might spend in the US tour, we might see at least 1 or 2 players being sold. Jadon Sancho is on the cards to PSG. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, West Ham, and is it Inter Milan are really interested in Italy. Then Scott McTominay is having lots of teams in the Premier League that have gone ahead to show interest in him, including Fulham, West Ham, and which other team? And the other one is outside the Premier League, that is Galatasaray, that are pushing hard to get Scott McTominay in. And Man United have to make a very huge choice on whether to move him on or not. But this is inevitable because United are really short of 4 players, 2 midfielders, 1 central defender, and 1 right back. You understand? So we are short of those players, and there is no way we are going to come up here and obviously find ourselves in a position of really lying to you about Scott McTominay's presence in here for you. And I think the only way Scott McTominay can really survive being sold is if at all PSG coming through and obviously hasten the transfer of Jadon Sancho to that side, because United want 40 million pounds. Those are like 52 million euros that are wanted by the club of Manchester United to see to it that everything really goes on to pass and put in a very huge shift into the mix. So McTominay is for sale, I tell you, and I think United need to move him on. And the beauty of Scott McTominay and why United are really referring to sell him imminently before the likes of Maguire, Lindelof, Bissaka, and Sancho is that he's a homegrown player, and if they get in like 40 million euros for this player, that means that money will be pure profit, and Man United can use all that amount of money to negotiate deals with teams like Bayern Munich for De Ligt, PSG for Ugarte, and even Galatasaray for Kadioglu, all Bayern Munich with them known as Mazuraoui. So we wait to see how that pans out. But Scott McTominay is a player that Ten Hag is going to have to come out in the media and defend that if a player scores 10 goals a season, there is no way you can move him on. And I was like, all right, let's get back and see what was the performance of Freddie. The last time he played for the club of Manchester United, I think he had the best season of... He had his best season at Manchester United, you know, in the season of 2023, in the season of 2022-2023. And for that, he played 35 games, scored 2 goals and 2 assists. UEFA Europa League, 9 games, 1 goal and 1 assist. EFL Cup, 1 goal, 1 assist. That was Freddie for you. And if you are to look at these goals, they might look like 4 or 5 and some assists in there for you. But if at all you remember what Freddie went ahead to offer to the club of Manchester United, there is no way you would have gone ahead to say that he was going to be leaving. But he was sold by the club of Manchester United. And I think the biggest achievement for the club of Manchester United is to move on players. And the list is really huge. Sancho, McTominay, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Eriksen. Those are 6 players. 6 players that Manchester United has to sell to obviously get this window right. But with how many days left for the summer transfer window to end, with a 38 days left for the summer transfer window to end, can United conduct these businesses? I tell you they can, because Manchester United has gone ahead to do 2 deals in a space of 1 week, meaning that for exits, it's all about them negotiating the best terms to see that we get into where we deserve. Fulham are really wanting Scott McTominay as a replacement of João Paulinho, because João Paulinho signed for Bayern Munich and is going to be a Bayern Munich player next season. And Fulham are looking at Scott McTominay as the right replacement for the guy. But I think they don't want to obviously sell him for huge amounts of, to buy him for huge amounts of money. And there is also a possibility for a player called Andreas Pereira to leave, you know, for £35 million. And Manchester United really has a sell-on clause of 20% that will see us getting £7 million as up from that guy. So that's what exactly is happening at the club of Manchester United. And I know most of you really have been asking yourselves what exactly is really happening. It is going to hit to happen, and it's real. United is really in good business, and we have to sell to buy. And Scott McTominay is one of the viable candidates for sale at the club of Manchester United. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But if we sell Scott McTominay, Amrabat and Ugarte will obviously be coming in through. So I leave it into your hands, and I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below. You know, what do you make about this guy, Scott McTominay? You know, should we sell him to bring in Ugarte and Amrabat, or we should leave him and not get in anyone else? Because that is the possibility. For Sancho, it's not a poor profit. You have to obviously handle that money with care, because you have to obviously pay money to Borussia Dortmund. Having gone ahead, obviously got in Sancho from Borussia Dortmund in 2021, a deal of £73 million. Obviously, we have some guaranteed fees of like, I think, 65, close to £68 million. So that means every season we've been paying a minimum of like £10 million to the side of Borussia Dortmund, and he has been here for 2022, 2023, 2024, and meaning that we are having a debt of like £40 million. So that means if you sell him for £40 million, you might find yourself really trying to obviously get like 20 to obviously pay them there, and you might use the 20 to obviously get in one midfielder. You understand? So we wait and see how that pans out. But it's really gonna be some huge business for the club of Manchester United. Then we are having a story coming in through from Chris Wheeler. Chris Wheeler works for the Daily Mail, if at all I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Daily Mail. He's a football writer there. He has confirmed to us that Mainoo, Luke Shaw, Joshua Zirkzee, Lisandro Martinez, Alejandro Garnacho, and Facundo Perez will not be involved in the US tour. Now, rumors were that Zirkzee was going to be part of the US tour. You get? Rumors were really swirling around the club of Manchester United, and that story came in through, but it was going to have to be rubbished and refuted by Chris Wheeler that United really want to see these players really get ample time. Why aren't they not going to be part of this tour? Because when you look at Facundo Pelestri, his team, Uruguay, played in the third playoff of the Copa America, right? Alejandro Garnacho and Lisandro Martinez, Argentina played until the final. The same applies to Kobe Mainoo and Luke Shaw, meaning that these players will need at least 3 weeks of rest. 3 weeks of rest, those are 21 days, and from the 14th to the 31st of this month, those are going to be 17 days, and from 17 days, they'll be having more 4 days to rest, and they'll be returning to training mid of the first week of August to really prepare for the game that you're going to be playing against Man City in what we call the Community Shield. But remember, even Man City is really having very many players. When you look at John Stones, Phil Foden, Kyle Walker, 3 players that were part of that team that played in the final. In Spain, they had Rodri. Those are 4. In Argentina, they had Julian Alvarez. Those are 5. Which other player is really going to not be part of the US tour, I think, for the Man City? I think they're also having some players that are really missing in action. And even those that played in the semi-finals, right? Because in the semi-finals, France was there, Spain was there, Netherlands was there, Nathan Ake, you talk about him. So we'll wait and see what squad Man City is really going to be having into the mix. But there are other players that have gone to join Manchester United. Rasmus Højlund has gone to join Manchester United. Eriksson, a player that I believe is a candidate to be sold, has also gone ahead to join the club of Manchester United. And the list of the squad that is flying to the US is really going to be revealed to you in here in a nick of time. So that's what we are getting in through from the man known as Chris Wheeler on the players that are really going to be going to the US tour. And I think let's really get his time, let him rest. I know no one is going to be putting him on pressure. He will come in through, start to train the club of Manchester United, and then later we'll see what the results will be in there for you. But the other player that has been taken off the team that is set to obviously travel to the US has been Joe Hugill. And we've been told by Samuel Lucas, a chief United correspondent or writer for the Manchester Evening News, that Manchester United striker Joe Hugill is set to join League One side Wigan Athletic on loan. He was due to be included in the United pre-season tour squad, but he has withdrawn ahead of an imminent loan to League One Wigan. Yeah, I would love to see to it that this player really goes ahead, obviously gate himself more playing time. If Wigan have gone ahead, obviously find him important, and they feel like he's really going to do the needful, then they should take him. And I'm 100% in support of these people, because nothing is really going to stop him from obviously getting to where he deserves to be. And with a few weeks he has gone ahead to spend with Ruud van Nistelrooy, I believe he has gone ahead obviously get more and more lethal. And the goal he went ahead to score, that goal he went ahead to score when the side of United was beating Rangers by 2-0. Shows you that Ruud van Nistelrooy has gone ahead obviously improve his tactics and style and game reading and finishing in the final third. And I think when you score such a goal against Rangers, very many clubs will obviously want to see you. And I think this is what we've gone ahead to do. And kudos to even the man known as Christian Vivel and Jason Wilcox, because I believe these people are really very important and integral in really choosing out the best loan plans for those players. Christian Vivel has been doing it for Chelsea, Hoffenheim, RB Salzburg, RB Leipzig, and Jason Wilcox has been doing it for the side of Man City. And that's why you see it that Man City can find themselves selling a player for £20 million when he's been playing the championship. You get? Look at the likes of Carl Palmer. You understand? So that is what we have to look at and really understand, that a lot is really going our way and improvement is really going to be made, because teams like Chelsea are selling in players from the academy and they're getting in huge money, and that money is being used to obviously see that they get these players to where they deserve to be. So we just can't wait to see how things are really going to be panning out. But I tell you what, the side of Man United is doing some great business, and I know that the fruits of loaning out these players will be really seen and achieved, I think, like 2 years from now. You'll find us that we're going to hit to sell players for like £10 million, £20 million, 30 from the academy, courtesy of us loaning them to clubs, and they do well, and we really see those players getting huge interest in them, and the rest will be history for those players. And lastly, there is a player known as Samuel Mather. Samuel Mather is a player that I saw for the very first time play for Manchester United in the game against Rangers, and the other one was a game against a team called Rangers, and he's a winger who plays as a left winger and a right winger. And United have gone ahead to obviously make sure that the winger Samuel Mather has agreed to sign new long-term contract with the club. Understand the agreement will be valid until 2027. 3-year deal with an option for further season. That's what we've gone ahead to get him through from the man himself, known as Samuel Mather. And he's a very good player that I believe is really great to obviously do the needful. Most of you are asking me, how old is this lad? You know? But I think if at all you went ahead to obviously watch those two games, you went ahead to obviously see this man, this player known as Samuel Mather, in there for you. And he made his debut in 2021 in the Papa John's Trophy, and he's really doing well for the club of Manchester United. When you look at his profile, it's really promising at the club of Manchester United, and the spirit of really keeping these youngsters is really increasingly happening at the club of Manchester United, as this player joined in July 2021, and he's really doing wonders for the club of Manchester United. And I tell you what, this is courtesy of Erik ten Hag, because Ten Hag has gone ahead to create a clear pathway of players from the academy to the first team. And the previous seasons, we're going to hit to see Garnacho, Mainoo, Kambuala, you know, this other guy that really got a problem with his shoulder that was going to affect his season very well, because I know he would have gone to obviously get into the team. I've forgotten his name. He's a midfielder. You remember him very well. And Dan Go in there for you. So these other players can easily be convinced to obviously join or really extend their contracts at Manchester United, because they know to it that they are going to be getting in what we call huge boasts from the side of Manchester United, and the chances are there for them to get into the first team. So as things stand, I feel like a lot is really being done at Manchester United, and keeping these players and tying them to longer contracts is really something great and a very huge achievement. And when you look at how it is at Arsenal, they've gone ahead to lose 3 players from the academy: Ranel Waters, you know, Koza Dobry, and Chido Martins, who is expected obviously coming through and really join the club of Manchester United. So we are doing some good business in those youngsters, and if it only happen to land him, the best will be great. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about second Scott McTominay bid anticipated by Manchester United. What do you make about it? Should he leave or he should stay? That is it. Then let's talk about another player called the list of players that are really not going to really take part of the of the preseason in the US. What do you make about it? And Hugill loan to Wigan, do you think it's really worth it? Is it going to really add a lot of quality to him? And maybe United can sell a forward for like 20-30 million pounds next summer. And lastly, what do you make about Samuel Mather, who has going to obviously extend his contract at Manchester United, and it's going to be here for some long time, as revealed to us by Fabrizio Romano. So guys, I sign out for now. See you later. Second video of the day, And by the time I return here, I'm going to be streaming live as I talk to you to see what team has gone ahead to travel to the US and which players have gone ahead to be dropped. Can we really get in a player dropped as a sign of him moving to another club? We wait and see how that happens. Rokan David is my name. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. I've got someone tell me that you say Alhamdulillah. Then for the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. We out. Bye-bye. But don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 20,000 subscribers. Second video of the day. We out.